Do you ever struggle to trust your child? Or maybe you feel like your child doesn't trust you. It's a tough place to be, for any parent or any kid. Here's the thing. Trust isn't automatic. It's not something you get just because you're family. It's something that's built day by day, interaction by interaction. And today, we're going to talk about how. Let's start with a really simple idea. Trust is like glass. It's beautiful and clear when it's whole, but it's also incredibly fragile. And once it's broken, piecing it back together is a very, very difficult job. So many parents I talk to are facing trust issues with their kids. They feel like they can't rely on them, that they have to constantly check up on them. And on the flip side, so many children and teens feel like their parents don't trust them no matter what they do. This creates a constant feeling of tension in the home. It leads to more arguments, more misunderstandings, and a growing emotional distance that nobody wants. So, where does it all go wrong? Why does trust break down in the first place? It's rarely one big event. It's usually a slow erosion, a series of small cracks that eventually shatter the whole thing. A big reason is when children lie or hide things. Now, they don't always do this to be malicious. Sometimes, it's out of fear of getting into trouble, or because they feel shame about something they did. They're afraid of the reaction they're going to get. And that brings us to the parents' side of the equation. Trust also breaks down when parents overreact. When we jump to conclusions, punish too quickly without getting the full story, or simply refuse to listen, we're sending a clear message. It's not safe to tell me the truth. Another huge factor is when expectations are unclear. If a child doesn't know what specific behaviors earn trust, how can they possibly achieve it? They feel like they're trying to hit a moving target. This creates a vicious cycle that is so hard to break out of. It goes like this. The parent doesn't trust the child, maybe because of a past mistake. The child feels misunderstood and controlled, thinking, they don't trust me anyway, so what's the point? This leads the child to hide more things, not because they're being deceptive, but because they're trying to avoid conflict or judgment. Then, the parent inevitably finds out and reacts, confirming their own belief that the child can't be trusted. And with each turn of this cycle, the trust erodes even further. It's exhausting for everyone involved. What's the real cost of this broken trust? It's much more than just dealing with a few white lies. When trust is weak, you'll see children become more secretive, withdrawn, or even rebellious. They might start pushing back against everything, not because they disagree with the rule, but because they feel a fundamental lack of respect and connection. And for parents, it's a recipe for constant anxiety. You feel like you have to be a detective, always monitoring, always questioning. It leads to a controlling parenting style that feels frustrating for you and suffocating for your child. Ultimately, the entire family's communication breaks down. Conversations become purely transactional, about homework, chores, and schedules, instead of being about feelings, dreams, and connection. This isn't just about small mistakes or getting through the teenage years. The lack of trust affects your emotional bond. It makes discipline feel like a constant battle instead of a teaching opportunity, and it can damage your long-term relationship for years to come. But here's the good news. Just as trust can be broken, it can also be rebuilt. It takes time, it takes patience, and it takes intention. But it is absolutely possible. So how do we do it? Let's break it down into 5 clear, actionable steps. Step 1 is the foundation of everything. Listen without judgment. This is so much harder than it sounds. When your child comes to you, especially if they've made a mistake, our first instinct is often to lecture or punish. But you have to fight that urge. Your first job is to just listen. Hear their side of the story. Even if you don't agree with their actions, you can validate their feelings. Something as simple as saying, I can see you were really scared to tell me this, or I understand you felt pressured by your friends, can open the door to real communication. It tells your child that their feelings matter and that you are a safe person to talk to, even when things are difficult. Step 2 is all about consistency. Children, and frankly all humans, thrive on predictability. They need to know that your words and actions will line up. Be consistent. If you make a promise, keep it. If you set a consequence, follow through with it. If you say you'll be there for their game, be there. This isn't just about big promises, it's about the small, everyday things. Consistency builds a foundation of reliability. Your child learns that they can count on you, that your yes means yes and your no means no. That reliability is the bedrock of trust. Step 3 is to give them small, manageable responsibilities. Trust isn't an all or nothing thing. It grows in stages. You can't just hand over the keys to the car and say, "I trust you." You build up to it. Start by giving them opportunities to prove their reliability in small ways. This could be completing their homework on their own without you hovering over them. It could be a new chore they are fully responsible for. It could be letting them make a small decision, like what to wear or what to have for a snack. Each time they successfully handle one of these small responsibilities, a little bit more trust is deposited into the bank. It shows them that you believe in their ability to be capable and independent. Step 4 is about how we handle mistakes. Correct without breaking trust. It is our job as parents to guide and correct our children. But there's a world of difference between teaching and punishing. Instead of shouting, name-calling, or bringing up past mistakes, focus on the behavior. Calmly explain why a particular action was wrong and what the impact was. For example, instead of, "You're so irresponsible you broke your curfew again," try, "When you come home late, I get very worried because I don't know if you're safe. We agreed on a time, and it's important to stick to it." This approach focuses on the problem, not the person. It teaches them about consequences and responsibility without shaming them or making them feel like they are a bad person. And finally, step 5, which might be the most powerful and most difficult step for parents, apologize when you are wrong. We're not perfect. We lose our temper. We misunderstand things. We make mistakes. When we do, admitting it is one of the most powerful ways to model honesty and integrity. Saying, "I'm sorry, I overreacted," or "I was wrong to assume that," shows your child that everyone makes mistakes and that the right thing to do is to own up to them. It teaches them that an apology is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of strength and respect for the relationship. Children notice this honesty, and it shows them that earning and maintaining trust is a two-way street. When you start putting these pieces together, something amazing happens. You start to see the power of mutual trust. A child who feels genuinely trusted by their parents is more likely to be open and honest, even when it's hard. They're more willing to take responsibility for their mistakes because they know they'll be met with understanding, not just anger. And most importantly, they develop a deep sense of self-confidence and self-worth. They believe in themselves because you believe in them. And for you, the parent, the benefits are just as profound. When you can trust your child, so much of the conflict and anxiety just melts away. You build a stronger, more resilient relationship. You can finally stop being a police officer and start being a guide. Positive behavior starts to happen more naturally, not because they're afraid of getting in trouble, but because they don't want to disappoint the trust you've placed in them. So remember, trust isn't a one-time gift you give your child. It's not a trophy they earn once and then have forever. It's a living, breathing thing that needs to be nurtured every single day. The smallest, most consistent actions, truly listening, honoring your promises, correcting with kindness, encouraging honesty, and being willing to say you're sorry, these are the things that create a home where trust can thrive. And in a home that's full of trust, children don't just grow up. They grow into compassionate, responsible adults who know how to build and value healthy, respectful relationships for the rest of their lives. Thank you so much for watching. If this resonated with you, and you want to commit to building a stronger relationship with your child, comment the word trust below. And please share this with another parent who might need this reminder today. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content to help you build a happier, healthier family. We'll see you in the next video.